Good morning, members. We've had some questions about adding stitches on both sides of your work when you're not just increasing by 1 or 2, that you can make it up in the pattern. So what I've done is done a pattern of 8 across, and I did 3 rows high for this example. What I'm going to do is we're going to add 3 stitches onto our right, and this can be as many as you need, but we're only going to add 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go into the second stitch, back bump, yarn over and pull through, and then the third stitch, yarn over and pull through. This gives us our 3. Now, this is no longer our first stitch of our pattern. That's the loop on a hook, which we don't work. You're going to work this one. So this is the 3 we've needed to increase our pattern. Then you're going to go down under this vertical bar and pick that one up. So that is the 1 of the 8. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and for the last stitch we're going to go through the V on the end, and that gives us the 8. Now I'm going to put a stitch marker in so we can see that this is our last stitch. And you can do this when you're first learning, or once you get used to seeing the stitches, you may not use this. But if I can get it to stick, there we go. This is our 8th and final stitch. We're going to increase 3 on this left side. And how I like to do that is you're going to go through just the back bar, yarn over, and pull through. This is going to be what we're going to be using. So this is 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3 so that we have 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. Now even though we have 3, we're going to be using these loops in the back. And I like to have the extra one because I never use this back bump right next to it, because if you're adding something because this is a sleeve or whatever, it's so tight to get into them corners, I've found. So this is your live loop. What you're going to do is you're going to pull this up and you're going to pull your hook out. Now I put a stitch marker in here because if I have to set my work down for some reason, it does not pull through, or if I grab my yarn, it doesn't pull through. So as you see, the stitch marker, it won't fit through there. So now what we're going to do is since I like this clean bar down, we're going to flip this over and you're going to see your back bump. You're going to go into that back bump. Now we're not yarning over and picking up anything yet, but we need 3 loops on the hook because we're adding 3 to each side. So you're going to go through that back bump, and that's 1. Now you're going to go back down into the next bump and just go through it. 2, and we need 3. I'm not using this one because I don't want a corner that's so tight. So we're going to pull this out and put it on our hook. So now we have the 3 cast on that we need. We're going to pull this yarn forward, and this stitch marker was just to hold our live loop. I'm going to take this out. Now while you're at this step, you can either add stitch markers into each 3 of these if you're not used to seeing your extra cast on that you don't want them to get lost. You can do that. But as you can see underneath, when we cast these off, this will be prettier. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through the first one, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's the 3. We have the outside bar, this bar, and then this bar. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and this is our first stitch of our regular pattern of the 8. So we're at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're back to the 3 that we have to cast off that we added. 1, 2, 3. And as normal for your forward pass again, we're going to say that we do not need to increase in this round. So what you'll do is you'll go through the vertical bars just like you would for any other row, and we're going to cast on our 3, and then we're back to our normal pattern. So we're going to go through the vertical bar and do the 8. 1,